Hello, Mavericks. It's Miss Troutwine here. Really excited you're here with us today for another awesome reading lesson. And today's lesson is all about the fact that we can learn more about authors by reading many of their books. So our goal today, let's go ahead and get out our bow and arrow. It says, I can get to know authors better by noticing similarities in their books they write, and I can describe the characteristics of some familiar books. Pew! Excellent. And there was a word inside of our goal today, and it is the word characteristics. It says characteristics is something that is the same throughout their books. And so I wonder if we can find some connections between some of our favorite authors too. So the author that we're going to explore today is Kevin Henkes. If you're familiar with some of these books you might see on the screen right now, go like this. Do you recognize some of these Kevin Henkes books? What do you remember about Kevin Henkes books? Oh, good. I forgot about that. What kind of events does he write about? You can look at some of these pictures here and think about some of the events that might be similar in the books. We have Chester's Way, Chrysanthemum, oh, Place in My Heart. One of the funniest books. Have you read Julius, the Baby of the World? Oh, it's so good. Lily's Big Day, Lily's Plastic Purse, and Owen. So what kind of characters does he have? Did you see any connection between those characters, I wonder? And then what happens to the characters at the end of the book? I wonder if we're going to see some similarities in these Kevin Henkes books that we can apply to other Kevin Henkes books. All right, so what do you notice about these three books? What's something that you notice? What do you think? Oh, interesting. I noticed that there was a mouse on each of these book covers too. Cool. That must be a favorite character for Kevin to write about. So what's the same about all of them? Let's see. We see Lily's Big Day, Julius, the Baby of the World, and Chrysanthemum. Oh, I think there are great lessons to be learned in all three of these books. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go through the list of characteristics that I noted about the author Kevin Henkes. I noticed that he writes about things that happens to kids, things that happen to kids every day in everyday lives. I also noticed that characters in his books are animals that act like people. And I noticed that the main character learns and changes by the end of the story. Oh, some of my very favorite stories, that definitely happens in his books. And often, not always, his books are about friends and family. So now what I want you to do is I want you to find at least 3 books by the same author. You could log into getepic.com. You could get books from your house or even library books. And I want you to post your noticings on Seesaw. You could say things like, I noticed that this author does this, or I noticed this author uses this type of character. So you could tap into authors that, oh my gosh, some of my favorite, like David Shannon. Oh my goodness, David Shannon is one of my favorite authors. He also wrote those No David books, so you might be able to find 3 of those. Oh man. You could choose an author like Mo Willems. If you know Mo Willems in the Pigeon books, oh, you know one of my favorite authors. And the Pigeon books, there are lots of similarities between those books that were written by Mo Willems. So what you're going to do is you're going to post your noticings on Seesaw. Sounds like this. I noticed that this author Now, if you can't find 3 books, maybe you can find 2 books that are similar, by a similar author, the same author, excuse me, or you can look on getepic.com. All right, I can't wait to see and hear about your noticings on Seesaw. All right, friends, happy reading.